Is Bitcoin going to $50,000 or just a fake move before the altcoin season start? What's the best course of action when you have already entered the market and you don't have any stables left? I'll also show you which altcoins are definitely worth your attention, because they're gonna bring huge profits. Bitcoin has fallen by almost 25% in the last month, from $71.5 to $61.5, while altcoins fell by 50% on average. What's happening? Is it a scenario that I've been talking about for quite some time, that the market maker's actual goal is to buy cheap altcoins for expensive Bitcoin? This way, Bitcoin falls by 5% and altcoins at the same time fall by 15 or even 20%. Everything I said before that Bitcoin will be brought down towards $50,000 is happening now. We had it coming. A good example is Arbitrum token. Many people bought it at $2 and waited for its further growth, but now it has fallen by another 50%. But for the big players, nothing has changed, because if we open the capitalization chart of the project, we can see that on January 10th, when the price of the token was $2.2, its capitalization was $2.8 billion. But now, at a price of $0.8, the capitalization is $2.6 billion. Because there was a huge token unlock. This means that things hasn't really changed for the big players. Altcoins are still expensive, as Bitcoin continues to trade in a range of $60,000 to $72,000. The market maker will continue to lower the Bitcoin price so that altcoins will lose another 30, maybe 40%. And those who bought Arbitrum at $2 will get into a 75% drawdown, and they most likely sell. And only then we're gonna see it go to the moon. Anyway, where are the signs that the market has already bottomed out and the market reversal is here and the alt season is coming? In any case, after the fall that we've been seeing for a month, there's always a sideways movement that lasts at least a month, where big players buy the tokens. I'm waiting for altcoins to fall by another 20-30%, and only after that we'll have growth, and it can take several months or even half a year. But there are some altcoins that you can pay attention to right now. Next, I'm going to show you the altcoins that even in a bear market is likely to double up. And I'll also tell you what to do if you already entered the market and got into a drawdown of 50-70%. If you liked the video, give it a like, it really helps me with the YouTube algorithms. The first altcoin is Jupiter. Recently, it has fallen by 50% from its highs, but it hasn't yet returned to the accumulation zone that took place in the fall of 2023, like most altcoins. Since big players has been buying back tokens for a month and giving them away in form of a huge airdrops, where people are getting thousands of dollars for a couple of swaps, I expect that in a full-fledged bull market, Jupiter will show at least 8x gain from current values. That doesn't even sound like too much, it's not 20 or 30x gain, but it's up to us. If we look at the total capitalization of the project, we can see that it's over $7 billion, which is a huge value, which means big players need more time to get liquidity, and this is why tokens with huge capitalization always grow first. A perfect example was at the end of 2023, when Solana, AVAX, and all other tokens flew to the moon before the rest of the market. So, I expect that Jupiter will be among the first to grow, and then it will be going sideways for a long time, and after that we can sell and fix our 7x gain. Not bad at all. And then rebalance into projects that showed less growth and earn extra 3-5x in them. And as a result, for one such rebalancing of our portfolio, we'll get 28x profit. Sounds good, don't you think? And this is why we're not gonna wait for the project to show 30x, since many influencers say that it's very hard to get 30x profit from one token. The most reasonable option is a proper rebalancing. Also, the following action is suitable for absolutely everyone, even if your crypto portfolio is at a huge loss. You might have heard that Jupiter conducted a very generous airdrop, but if you look at the tokenomics, you'll see that they spend only 10% of their allocated funds for the airdrop. That is, there's still 40% left for sending airdrops, and by the way, the excitement around the project has died down already. So I advise that you not miss the opportunity. For this, we'll need a wallet in the Solana network. I recommend using Phantom, as it'll also give away airdrop. So, do not be lazy, make a swap inside the Phantom wallet. To qualify for the drop from Jupiter, you need to perform a few simple steps. The first is to make a swap. For example, you can change USDT to Solana, then change to USDC. So we spend just a few cents for making a swap. 15 swaps in total will be enough, but do not need to change USDT to USDC and back all the time, it's gonna look suspicious. Okay, next up you can also see voting on the site. For this we're gonna need Jupiter tokens. I recommend sending them to staking from 10 tokens. And for that we get the voting power. And take into account that the period of staking is 30 days, and it's very important not to skip voting. We can see that a lot of votes have already passed, but to meet the drop requirements, a few will be enough, I'm sure about that. I also advise that you open futures trades at least a couple of times. So, while we're waiting for the alt season, we can do a simple activity. Create 10-20 accounts and make swap, and then we just get huge airdrop. And all this is gonna cost us a few dollars for paying the transaction fees. Now let's take a look at one of the top projects in Layer 1. I'm talking about Aptos. Let's take a look at the chart. We can see that Aptos showed 5-6 times growth twice. First at the beginning of 2023 when it grew 6 times from $3.5 to $20, and then it was falling down to $5 for a year. And then again, it showed a 4x pump and almost reached $20. In 2023, I had an average Aptos price of $6.07, and I sold at an average of $16. And by the way, I gave the signal to my Telegram subscribers that the best thing to do would be to rebalance from SUI, which was going sideways at its highs, to Aptos, which went up from $12 to $20 after that. So subscribe to my Telegram channel if you don't want to miss one of these profitable signals. The link is down below. Now, Aptos price looks very attractive, but we shouldn't forget that it can still fall as the bottom of the market hasn't been reached yet. I expect that Aptos can fall down to $5, and then it'll be going sideways where big players will be buying the tokens back. But it wouldn't be a mistake to start buying Aptos gradually right now, because in a bull market, I expect Aptos to reach at least $60, maybe even $80, and this is according to the most conservative estimates, as all Tier 1 projects showed at least 3 times growth from the accumulation zone during the previous bull market. I also advise you to send Aptos tokens to staking while we wait for the alt season to get an airdrop from Aptos. And as we remember, this is one of the few projects that gives really generous airdrops. I also advise you to buy Aptos Name. It's such an analog of ENS of your EVM wallet. It costs only 1 Aptos and we can get 2 airdrops here. The first one from Aptos Name, as it was with ENS names, and the second one from Aptos itself. I also recommend being active in Aptos network and make swap on different exchanges. And also you shouldn't miss the DEX called Merkle, where we'll spend $10 on paying the transaction fees and can get an airdrop from a prospective DEX, as each network has a leading DEX, which gave out a large airdrop. From Solana, it's Jupiter, in EVM networks it's Uniswap, and the only DEX from Aptos so far is Merkle. So links to all the projects can be found on my Telegram channel. Now let's discuss the token that will double up very soon. If you watched my video from the 8th of June, in which I talked about Drift token and that I expect growth from it despite the fact that the market is going down, during that time all altcoins fell by 20%, and Drift stays at $0.5 level. This is the price I bought Drift, so it's still trading at these values. I still hold this position as it shows that the market maker holds the price, and if you want to know in detail why I expect Drift to go up, just click and watch this video. The next altcoin is a gem, and I'm talking about DYDX. Nobody actually talks about it because everybody talks about altcoins with huge capitalization, which in fact will not show anything. But at the same time, the exchange is on top in terms of daily total circulation. We shouldn't forget that top funds such as A16Z, Polychain Capital, Paradigm, Electric Capital, Dragonfly, and Wintermute Market Maker invested $87 million in DYDX, so the project has money to buy back the tokens, and at the same time they managed to sell their tokens well in the previous bull market, at $10–20, and then the price dropped. And for the last 2 years it's been in the accumulation zone in the range of $1.5–4, where it's clear that big players did not sell their tokens. And I also don't expect DYDX price below $1. In a bull market, I expect the token to go up to at least $15–20 values. So it's gonna be smart to start accumulating DYDX now, and also you can send it to staking since recently Stride have conducted airdrop for staking DYDX token. Write in the comments what do you think. Thanks for watching and I hope this video was useful.